Here are 7 Nigerian-owned companies that operate on an international level.
My name is Ahmed Raza. I'm the hotel manager at Radisson Blu Anchorage Hotel, which is part of the Honeywell Group.
I'm going to count down from number 7 to number 1. Nigerian company operating on an international level. Number 7. Honeywell Group.
The Honeywell Group is well established. The procedures are there. You really get the feel of working in a good corporate environment.
Honeywell Group was formed in 1972 by Oba Otudeko.
It's about moving Honeywell to greater heights in the pursuit of his vision to be a company that actually strengthens Africa and makes Africa proud of itself, of its ability to drive development through growth inspired by Africans in particular, of course, with the cooperation of the international community.
Honeywell Flour Mills, together with Flour Mills Nigeria, export products to the West African region. Honeywell Group have, of course, invested outside of Nigeria. That's why it's international. They've invested in Barbican Capital. They have invested in FBN Holdings, which is a financial services group all across Africa. Nigerian company operating on an international level. Number 6. Interswitch. It's a fintech company.
Hi, my name is Michele Legbe. I am Group Managing Director at Interswitch. The good guys also call me Big Mitch. To understand Interswitch, you need to even start from what the name Interswitch means and where it came from. It basically means interact, interconnect, international.
We have this problem in Nigeria where you couldn't process transactions, you couldn't carry out transactions without carrying plenty of cash. So Mitchell's vision was, can we not solve this problem? Why is it so difficult for Nigerians to solve the problem of payments?
I met Mitchell again. He went through the vision. I didn't really understand a lot of it because I didn't understand ATMs, payments, but he sounded very convinced. I met the team, but it wasn't long before I started to understand that what we were actually trying to do was challenge the status quo and not allow Nigeria stay in the state it was.
Interswitch is a unicorn company. Interswitch is worth over $1 billion.
Nigeria's leading payment technology Verve launches the Verve Global Card in collaboration with Discover Global Network in the United States of America. Right in the middle of the hustle and bustle, famed jewelry brand Swarovski rolls out the red carpet for the groundbreaking arrival of a new player in the global e-payment system.
I think the immediate benefit is that when Nigerians travel abroad, unlike in the past when as they get to the airport, they forget about their Verve cards, we now want to encourage them to take their Verve cards abroad, knowing fully well, at least starting with the US, the Verve cards will be accepted across every location where you see a Discover.
Interswitch is truly a company of international stature, coming out of Nigeria. Nigerian company operating on an international level. Number 5. Zenith Bank.
I started Zenith Bank with 20 million naira in 1990. That is about $5 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to invite to deliver the keynote, the first female group managing director and CEO of Zenith Bank PLC.
Since inception in May 1990, Zenith Bank has grown to become one of the leading and most respected financial institutions in Africa. The bank has a 10-year record of being Nigeria's largest bank. As at December 2023, Zenith Bank recorded Tier 1 capital of 1.8 trillion naira, highest in banking industry and the top 10 in Africa.
Zenith Bank is listed on the London Stock Exchange. You don't get many companies out of Africa listed on the London Stock Exchange.
Zenith Bank remains a strong and formidable brand globally. We have the highest market capitalization, highest in Tier 1 capital, highest in profitability.
Zenith Bank have subsidiaries in the United Kingdom, in the United Arab Emirates, and the list goes on.
Zenith Bank is and will continue to be the biggest, the most profitable, the best financial institution in Nigeria and beyond.
Nigerian company operating on an international level. Number 4, Access Bank.
In 2002, one man, along with his friend, didn't just buy a failing bank. He rescued it and transformed it into one of the biggest banks in Nigeria, Access Bank. He didn't dream alone of owning his bank. He made sure his professional colleague and friend, Herbert Wigwe, agreed to embark on the journey with him. Ike and Herbert compiled a list of potential banks to buy. They discovered that the well-performing banks they preferred were too expensive. Despite their frustration and the seemingly impossibility of securing a deal, they persisted.
Access Bank have got a large international presence with subsidiaries across Africa and in the United Kingdom.
We want to be the world's most respected African bank. The second is that we want to be Africa's gateway to the world. And the third is that we want to be the first truly African global bank. That's why we're in London as the most profitable bank in that market. That's why we're in markets like Hong Kong. If you look at the world today, you see that there are 5 global markets. So you have New York, you have London, you have Hong Kong, you have Paris, and you have Tokyo. We're in 3 of those 5 markets. By first quarter of 2026, we'll have Access USA.
Nigerian companies can be truly international. Let us not underestimate that. Nigerian company operating on an international level. Number 3, Bua Group.
More than 30 years ago, Bua International pioneered a trading business to undertake the importation of rice, sugar, and other commodities. This marked the dawn of what would later become one of Nigeria's largest food manufacturers. This vision was clear: promote food security and nourish lives across Africa. And so the journey began. Motivated to deepen business operations and presence, Abdul Samad Rabiu.
Well, I think what is important is for us to ensure that we continue, to add, or to expand, production facilities. As we all know, prices are quite high now. But what we're trying to do is to ensure that, prices come down. We are expanding all our facilities. We just signed a contract a few days ago, to expand our pasta milling capacity with an additional 400,000 tons per annum. Our capacity is going to be almost 1 million tons of pasta. This will continue to do. We also have, additional lines that we signed, contract that we signed, to increase our wheat. The reason all this is happening is because at the end of the day, we need to do more. As we all know, Bua Foods is the only indigenous company in terms of wheat and pasta milling in the country. So we'll continue to do that.
And his vision is to create a world-class global company operating out of Nigeria and a company of true international standing. Bua Cement is all over West Africa.
The cement business, as far as Bua Group is concerned, started about maybe way back in 2007. The area that really interested us was, Edo Cement. We really would want to have a plant that would compete with anywhere in the world. And we are given that. Hence the reason why if you go to Edo Cement today, will be in production, you will not even know. You will not see anything. The quality of the people, the quality of the machine, the quality of the management here that we have are all impeccable. So without a question, it's one of the best plants anywhere in the world.
My name is Ayodele Abioye, Managing Director of Bua Foods PLC. At Bua Foods, we have a North Star ambition to fulfill Africa's food demand by promoting food security and nourishing lives. Recently, we announced an investment in capacity expansion aimed at almost doubling our wheat milling and pasta production capacity. This is also coming with added capabilities in product innovation to address food supply challenges in Nigeria and Africa by extension.
Nigerian company operating on an international level. Number 2, Globacom. Globacom is owned by Mike Adenuga.
Globacom itself is an homegrown world-class initiative to address the issue of telecommunications in Nigeria. And it's largely, it's 100% Nigerian, it's indigenous. Most of the staff of Globacom, they are Nigerians, driven by Nigerians. And we believe that we should meet the customer's expectation in a very affordable manner.
It's an indigenous Nigerian telecommunications company, truly ours, truly Nigerian.
Digital solutions provider Globacom recently marked its 20th anniversary in Nigeria's telecommunications industry. The company, which started operations on August 29, 2003, has in the past 2 decades pioneered revolutionary changes in the market.
Today, I really feel excited because today we are looking at a major step change in Nigeria. I promise you, things are never going to be the same again because now the Glo 1 submarine cable has arrived and linked in seamlessly with our 10,000 kilometers of fiber optic network. Now is the time when we can provide our country with clearer lines as well as high quality internet bandwidth to any global destination at really affordable prices. I promise you, no one else can do this because no one else has the submarine cable to Europe and on to America connected to his own massive national network. Yes, sir. This is the time when we as Nigerians can start to compete with the rest of the world on an equal footing. I thank you for the support in the past, and I know I can count on you in the future because this is the time when everything from e-commerce to e-learning can really start to develop here.
We introduced to Nigerians the possibility of browsing the internet from their mobile phones. Now, prior to this time, the only thing that you could use your phones for was for voice and SMS. But we introduced GPRS, which is an always-on packet-based service, that allows customers to have that access. And today, every other data technology that has followed, from 3G to 4G to 5G, have been based on GPRS. Globacom actually brought this technology to Nigeria.
Globacom have roaming agreements with GSM countries all over the world, approximately about 180 countries. So you see, you can get to fraternize with Globacom even when you're in Europe, even when you're in America, in short, on an international level. Globacom is truly a Nigerian company with international standing. Nigerian company operating on an international level. Number 1, Dangote Group. Of course, we cannot mention companies of international standings operating out of Nigeria without mentioning Dangote. Is the father, is the king of them all. Dangote Group was founded by Aliko Dangote, the richest black man on the planet and from Africa. That's something to be proud of.
I started work with my, uncle, but there's few months, and then I went to Lagos, and now I started my own business by just, buying cement, selling. It was just a very low-key business. One thing that I'm very, very proud of is that I did not inherit any money from my father. I built everything from scratch to where I am.
He owns Dangote Cement.
Yes, I decided in 2003 to build my own cement. That time, Nigeria was only producing about 1.8, 1.9 million tons, but we went ahead and started with 5 million tons of cement capacity. We are the largest cement manufacturer in sub-Saharan Africa.
Dangote Cement has played a huge role in Africa's current infrastructural development. You see, a continent, a country cannot develop without cement to help build structures. Dangote Cement is operational in 10 African countries.
This is the Dangote investment on the Ibeju-Lekki axis of Lagos State. An investment of over $20 billion. The biggest private investment in Africa.
The sub-Saharan African countries, all of them, they import what they consume in terms of petroleum products. And that's why we believe that it is totally necessary, for us to make sure that, yes, we actually take out this burden of importation of petroleum products by now putting up this big size of, refinery.
Dangote Refinery is only one of 3 fully operational refineries in Africa. That's a big deal. Dangote Refineries is capable of meeting Nigeria's needs and more.
The quality here will match that of quality of anywhere in the world. US, America, we will make sure that nobody will beat us in terms of quality.
Dangote Group is truly recognizable all over the world, and I think Nigerians should be proud of what Dangote Group has achieved despite the odds. The beauty of having companies of international standing and level is that they generate economic growth for the country. They bring in revenue and, more importantly, job creation. We need to be proud of all of these Nigerian companies who have all gone against the grain and be successful outside the shores of Nigeria. Nigerian companies. Omo, don't be your mate too. Please give me a like and a follow.